NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Los Angeles Rams.
Season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Now the fourth-year man, it's Cam Akers.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Now this defense for the Eagles, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
Yeah, they held them to just 7 points, and if you rewatch the game tape, and I did multiple times, it was amazing to me that the other guys even got 7. They were absolutely dominating on that side of the football.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. From the gun, here's Stafford. And his throw is incomplete.
Eagle defense.
They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Held them well under 200 yards of total offense. In today's NFL, that's a feat to be proud of, especially with the emphasis on offense and what we're seeing each and every week.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And that will be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Is that even a play?
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They snap it to Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The drive will start with an option going left. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. An excellent run of 22 yards on the keeper and also a 1st down.
And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
2nd and 4. They could still get a 1st down without scoring. They go play action with Hurts.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long.
They're going to look to throw.
Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ahkello Witherspoon. And the Rams are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
On the counter, this is Akers. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Here's Stafford.
He'll dump this off to Akers. And he's going to have a Rams 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. And the Rams had 2-2 through the first 4 weeks of the season. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Stafford hooking up with Akers.
And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
You look at this Eagle defense. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
They held them to just 7 points, and in reviewing the game tape, I'm wondering how they got to 7. I actually wrote a note to myself. How did they even score? The way they were playing, absolutely dominating on their side of the ball.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards there on the catch and run. A pair of 1st downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Stafford going to give this to Akers. Fights it off. And across the midfield, stripe into Eagle territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
They'll try and run for this with Akers. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. On 4th down, Stafford. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
And he's got this down to the 35. 14 yards there and an Eagle 1st down. Play action. Here's Hurts. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. How to get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone
Makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. On second down, Swift. And some nice running going to get him down close to a first down at the Rams' 26. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes, and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. They'll run for it with Penny. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. I think that's a good example of why they've been successful this year. They're fearless on any down.
And it's interesting that this year I asked an NFL head coach about being fearless and going for it on 4th down. And he said, people have to understand, there's fearless and there's reckless. I try not to be reckless when I make a decision to go for it on 4th down. In this case, fearless wins.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Once again, it's Swift. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Eagles are on the board first on the road here in L.A. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know, they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look at a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A give running right is Akers. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
To throw is Stafford. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Throwing is Stafford.
Looking for Cooper Kupp again, 2 in a row.
And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. Sean McVay's gamble does not pay off. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts.
Complete. Smith has it. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
May not be the first name you think of with the Eagles offense, but Smith had an incredible 2022. 11th in the NFL in catches, 9th in yards as the number 2 option in a run-heavy offense. First down there from one of the game's best young receivers.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They go back to the ground, this time Swift.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked by Troy Reeder. And the Rams are going to take over at their own 41. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
A good pickup there at 22. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
To throw on second down to Stafford.
Into the hands of Skoranek.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Throwing again at Stafford.
He's into space past the 25. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they've certainly gotten him involved in this first half. And on 3rd down, they looked his way again. And what a delight for his quarterback to find him and keep the drive moving.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved.
Just not what I saw. What are you looking at, ref? They find these officials. Done it.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
Hurry.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down with a nice little gain. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Stafford. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And sometimes when you run a screen pass down in the red zone, it's really tough to create a lot of room to operate. It feels pretty condensed. But that was really well designed there, and they're able to pick up a first down.
And this carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, just not much room there to operate. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Akers will score. Touchdown, L.A. Brett Maher on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Hurts. He's got Smith here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Hurts. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Here's Hurts to throw. This is Smith with a grab. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. This one complete down the field to Goddard. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Here's Swift. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DeAndre Swift, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
2nd and 10. Now Stafford. That's down the field for Jefferson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. The final shot before the break, Stafford. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Normally, I'd say this will lead to a punt attempt, but this offense already shown in the first half that they'll go for it on 4th down.
Oh, they should have already said, punt it, punt it. Head coach have already made that decision.
A final shot before break. Stafford. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. A one-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Isaiah Rodgers. And he will score. Touchdown, Eagles. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They make their second half debut here. Things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a three-possession game.
On second down, here's Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That's a gain of 13, first down Rams.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from me a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
On first down, Stafford here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Now Stafford.
A quick pass to Kupp.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Big 20. All right, boys, here we go.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick-6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. He's past the 30. He might score. He will score. Touchdown.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break in. You're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
They'll find Swift out of the backfield.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
They get this out quickly to the left side.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down, it would appear. Yes, he does by a full yard. They get the conversion on 4th and 2.
Back to throw again. They'll roll him out right. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
He's known for his legs and his fancy footwork, but he's not getting much of a chance to use it here. The defense continued to hold the upper hand by bringing him down on that play.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Here's Stafford. That'll be caught. It's caught. And he works free. And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. A big play there for L.A. 53 yards. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory...
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop him.
And that's what the Eagles have been looking for out of the big defensive tackle from Georgia. No sacks as a rookie, but with his athletic ability, there are big plans for him going forward.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Here's Stafford. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Well, Fletcher Cox, he's been doing this for a lot of years, and another sack to his ledger there. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. And that hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a 1st down. Roughing, it is a 1st.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. The kick by Maher is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points there, CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
They run the option on 2nd down.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So both offenses come to life here in this 3rd quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And he's just going to run right into that big old defensive end. And that play going nowhere. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
They will run straight ahead with Swift.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
60 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
1st down, and they go with Swift again.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
They go play action with Hurts.
Complete. Smith has it.
Down inside the 10.
Touchdown, Eagles.
Devontae Smith.
30 yards.
And the Eagles add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I've thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved. Here comes the Rams punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
On the return, it's Rodgers.
8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. At the 47-yard line.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 81 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Swift going to try up the middle.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
These guys definitely hoping for on Stafford for the 3rd time is intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship.
And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Penny up the middle. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Jordan Fuller there to take him down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
It's about time for a turnover.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset.
Here's 2nd and 10. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. A give here to Swift, but this is going to be a reverse. And that won't work out for big yardage, but a decent gain there on the trickeration.
Tackle made at the 5-yard line. On 9 yards.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.